Hello Earthlings! In this video we're diving into the world of DJing in China, and it's more complex, more creative and more unpredictable than you might think. I'm talking to two DJs with very different styles and paths, both living and working in China. The first is Lina K, a well-known underground techno and house DJ based in Shanghai. Originally from Moldova, she's been DJing since 2011 and over time has become a part of the local scene. Promoters and club owners treat her like a Shanghai native. She's a resident in several respected venues in the city. Lina's heart belongs to underground music. She plays in places where the crowd comes for the music, where it's about self-expression and creative freedom and real connection between DJ and dancer. But she's also pragmatic. Lina isn't against playing corporate parties where she has less creative freedom, and those gigs are, as she says, are strictly for the money. Her soul, though, lies in the underground scene. She also runs her own events, two standout party series, Techno is a Woman and Techno Train. These aren't just local parties. Lina invites DJs from all over China and from abroad, building a space where diversity, music and community come together. And then we have Geekay from Zimbabwe, now based in Nanjing. Geekay mostly plays in bars and occasionally clubs. He's performed in only one underground venue in Nanjing called Mono House. And his main gigs are in bars catering to wider audiences with more commercial music. His background is in performance. He's a pop keyboard major finishing his master's degree this summer. He's at a decision point right now: continue as a DJ, maybe become a music teacher, or take a bigger leap into the industry. Together, Lina and GK paint two very different portraits of what it means to be a DJ in China today. In this video, we talk about how to get gigs, what post-COVID nightlife looks like, what legal and visa considerations DJs need to know, and how to get started in China's music scene, whether you're already here or just thinking about it. Let's get into it. When you play in underground clubs in China and in Europe, how much creative freedom do you have there?
In Europe, I can say totally 100%. I can play whatever I want and I think is suitable. Here, not always.
You play for general crowds in the bars. How do you decide what to play?
I think it depends where I'm playing. That's the first thing. But how I decide, there's two ways. Sometimes I curate my playlist before at home and make it more of an experience than just music. That's number one. But the second one is you have to read the crowd. You have to read the energy. What does the energy on that particular day require you to play?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which has also like helped me grow musically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of story do you try to tell when you play a set?
It's always a journey. Like I'm starting from this because I produce music as well. So it's always about my own emotions and something from the past, from the present, from the maybe what's going to happen in the future. The sets is also more or less about that, I would say. Even how I prepare for the set. Of course, I'm trying to when I do the selection of the music, like I try to first of all, it's my own mood at this time, right? Then when I select tracks, I think, okay, maybe this will work or this will not work. I can tell this only when I'm in the club because I can see the crowd, how they react on the certain tracks. But yeah, it's always about you want to say something deep, what is like sitting deep inside you. It's not a specific feeling. It's just the momentum at this exact moment.
How many bars do you play at in Nanjing?
In Nanjing, I play in quite a number of bars, but more consistently I play at Fabaha. Yeah, but I also play at Red Room. I also play sometimes at Scarlet, sometimes Hope Lounge. Yeah.
Is there a drastic difference between playing in these bars? For example, here you play, in Farvahar you play one type of music and in Red Room another type, or it's more or less the same?
There's a difference. I'll give you between Farvahar, Scarlet and Red Room. Red Room is predominantly Chinese, although there's some foreign people that come there, mostly white people. So it's more pop music than anything. Pop and hip hop, maybe R&B, because it's a chilled environment. It's not a club. It's more like a bar and grill. So people come have dinner or drinks. So it's more of like a chilled environment. And then when it's Favahar has more creative liberty in terms of what you play. They foster a sense of you being you and playing what truly expresses yourself. So when I'm at Favahar, I normally play what I love to play, which I think maybe we'll touch on later when we talk about that. And then at Scarlet is more commercial scene now. You have to play, and it has like a lot of different crowds. It has Arabs, it has Latina, it has African. And within the African sense, there's so many, South Africa, Kenya, Rwanda, so you cater for all those, yeah. Which is more of popular music, rather than what you would play for anyone. Yeah.
Do you believe true underground clubs in China give artists more space to be themselves than mainstream venues?
I think in general in the club, and in general, like a DJ, he has to be himself. I think, yeah. And underground venues in China, of course, they're booking DJs according to their music and how they can read the crowd and how they can, how they can navigate through the night and like what their music brings to the crowd.
Can you say that you like all the music that you play in those bars, or sometimes you have to adjust to the crowd?
I wouldn't say I like all the music. You have to adjust to the crowd because at the end of the day, you're not playing for yourself, you're playing for them. So I'll just give you a backstory of how I started. When I started, I came from Southern Africa, and Southern Africa is predominantly house music. My piano then wasn't that popular, but it was predominantly house music. So I was more of a house music DJ. But playing, especially Scarlet, then stretched my music campus to then try to figure out what kind of music that will make you relevant during your set. So it made me research more on Latino music, reggaeton, made me research more on Arabic music, more on African music in the continent of Africa. Made me more cognizant of how Afrobeats is big and it's just not Nigeria.
Do you think that the crowd in China is expecting to be challenged when they come for international artists?
Back in the days, like before 2019, that will be answer yes. But now is a bit more different. So I'm not sure if the 100% of the people coming in general in club for the music. So that's.
What do they come for?
Socializing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the time. Nowadays, most of the times.
What is your favorite type of music?
I'm more of an Afro house type of music guy. I really love Afro house music. And I'm also into mellow, I don't know how to describe it, mellow house. Is there anything like that? I'm a piano. Yeah, I'm really passionate about the Southern African type of vibe, and also just Afro house in general.
What does success mean to you as a techno/house DJ? Mass appeal or artistic integrity?
I would say artistic integrity, but mass appeal it's also important. Everyone will love to be loved, right, by the like people for whom you are playing. but that should not be, for me, it's not, should not be, I'm talking about myself. For me, it's not the main point. I would love to say something through my music. I would love to share something with the people, like with the music I'm playing, with the music I'm making. For me, this is important. I would love to share as well something what I'm creating. And this is, for me, is very important. Yeah, and especially probably to say something, yes.
Guys, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button or consider subscription. That would be a really big thank you from you to me, because it takes a lot of effort to make these videos. I try to find time and think of interesting topics and find nice, beautiful cinematic locations to shoot good quality videos for you. On my channel, I talk about China, about traveling here, living here, teaching, making music, and all different sorts of stuff that is happening in my life. See you in the next video, and please continue watching. When you play in bars, do you feel that you are catering to people for them to bob their head and dance, or do you focus more on whatever you like and rule the crowd, kind of show them direction where you want to go?
Say, for example, I'm playing alone at Vavaha. That's 4 hours, 4-hour set. The first 2 hours is usually just chilled vibes. So that's where I sort of then have the creative liberty to usher people to my sort of journey in terms of what I'm playing in that particular day. The last 2 hours now you have to cater for them, because they want to also have fun. So that's now like freelance. You go on Afrobeat, hip hop, reggaeton, rumba, Congolese, whatever that the crowd is vibing to at that particular moment. But I think here it's more of playing for the crowd, not for yourself.
Lina, what do you know about legal arrangements for DJs who are foreigners in China?
So first of all, you have to have a working permit. Either you are having like not an artist job, not as a DJ job, but as a like, I don't know, management job, whatever, and you are doing DJing as a part-time, just as a hobby. But if you are earning money, and if you're playing at the places what are selling tickets, or even if the place is paying you, you have to have working permit first, and the second, each venue has to apply for a special performing license for you for each event you are playing. So this is basically the rules. And yeah, if you're a full-time DJ and you're a resident at a club or a lounge or a hotel, because that's very popular in China, yeah, normally the place arrange for you an artist visa for that. You still have to apply if you're playing beside that place, you're playing in another place, you still have to apply for a performing license for each venue where are you playing. Not you, actually. The venue has to apply for this permit.
From what I know, students who study music in China somehow can get this permission to work legally as a musician, as a DJ or as a band player. How do you go about that? Do you use that chance?
I think it differs with the school that you're studying at. For our school, they are quite adamant and quite. They don't want that.
They don't want that, yeah.
No, just if you're studying, you're just studying.
So how do you go about that? No one asks, no one tells?
Really, like, I'm not working. It's a social activity. Just like someone would like to go bowling or would like to go skating. I like DJing, so it's just, I take it as a social.
Right.
Yeah, for now.
So you're doing this for fun?
Yes, for fun.
Okay.
For now.
For now.
Well, for the school, really. If they ask me. Well, no, I'm not doing it for fun, but you know. Yeah.
I guess you figured out that Geekay is a student in China. If you want to know more about students' life, I really suggest watching this video that will tell you much more information about international students in this country. Are clubs in China usually up to the technical standards you got used to or you expect?
Quite yes. I mean, regarding the DJ equipment, everywhere is the newest. I would say newest setups. Yes, except few places I've been was a little bit a disaster. Regarding the sound system, I would say 75% of the places, yes, will be good
Up
sound.
to your expectations.
Yeah, it will be okay.
What if the sound is really bad? Would you proceed with your gig?
Normally not.
You would say the sound is terrible. And
No. Normally, I have never had this like situation. I mean, I had for the events, like not in the clubs. I did.
Like a promotional event for.
Yeah, like or a commercial event, but that's also
different.
actually it's different. It's not the club. It will not really affect my performance because there is not really my performance. Like you are basically a background, like playing background music or something.
How about imagine a situation, because I've been to one like that. I come to a club and the CDJs, when you press Q, it does not work.
Yeah.
Q doesn't work.
That's Q. It's not necessary to use Q button for me. I can still play as long as I can still manage to play. I will not cancel the gig. I will not. But of course, if it gives me like if it really affects my set, if it can affect my set, yes, then I will say I'm sorry, I cannot play in this. But I will not be very, very like picky about the Q button. Yeah. But okay, this is not for me. This is not a big problem, to be honest.
How about Europe? Are there problems like that in European clubs?
I never met such a problem.
The bars that you usually perform at, do they have good sound equipment, or some bars just have enough to produce some sound?
I think for where I've played, most of them have good sound system. The PA system is quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. But I have had a scenario where it was just enough, you know. I think for a night we played using one high-end speaker, like one with 15-inch, the whole night. It was like a big club that night. It was quite frustrating, but yeah, we had to make do with what we had.
We work with what we've got.
Yeah, we do, we have to.
Have you ever had a technical disaster mid-set? And if you have, how did you handle it?
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't have like something what really affected the set. So one time was a long time ago. I was playing with, still was playing with the Tractor software, and that time you had to connect with the sound card. So the sound card stopped in the middle of the set. So I just keep playing with the CDJs. But now I remember, it was in Nanjing. We've burned the sub bass. I don't know how, in Mono House. I never played there since then too. I don't think because of this reason, but yes.
You're afraid the guy will ask the money back, right?
No. Mono is a cool guy. No. We are friends, so no. But yes, we've burned this sub.
You've played a lot of bars in Nanjing and in Shanghai and clubs as well. Do you remember a night or two which stood out for you?
There's one particular night I was playing at a certain bar, and then after that there was an event I was also booked at. Even if I watched the video over and over again, I relived the moment. It was really good. It was really good. I was with my saxophone guy. We were playing, the two of us. It was amazing. Even the people loved it. And you know, it's unfortunate that I had to move to another city, but from there people were like, oh man, you guys should do a set every time. Yeah, I love that one.
Can you share one or two unforgettable gigs in your DJing career?
Back in 2014, I started to play in 2012. In 2014 was the first In Young festival. It was on the Great Wall, and I had a sunrise set. And that was like something absolutely amazing. First of all, because it was like sunrise, it was the last hours of the festival. So the people who actually stayed all the way until that time is like a real survivor. So the vibe was crazy, insane. And yeah, when I started to play, I didn't realize the sun is coming up. And then I actually saw this more on the video after and started to realize, oh my God, we like came from the night to the day. It was really amazing. The nature around and the fact that you are on the Great Wall, it was crazy. Yeah, this is really nice. And another one in China, I think, because it's a lot of good events happening in China, in Shanghai. I'm playing mostly in Shanghai, but there was one night what like really I cannot forget. It was Horror on tour, and I was doing closing set for that night. I supposed to play 1.5 hours, and I played 3.5 hours. And actually, we will keep going, but just they tell, okay, we cannot be open anymore. Sorry, you all have to go home, please. That was like really amazing night. Yeah, that was like really, really amazing. I mean, the vibe. I was feeling myself, honestly, like it was a system. I played there many times, but that time was crazy. The energy from the people was crazy. It was really, really good. This is like I remember until now. Like, it's very nice.
Have you ever had a night which you consider as fiasco, as a terrible night?
I think it was one of my first gigs. It was at Scarlet actually, before they moved.
What happened?
So I asked to play. At that point, they're like, "Oh, did you?" Like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Like, "Okay, cool. You can come and be the first." So like I mentioned earlier on, I was more of a house DJ, I'm a piano. I was not even into Afrobeats or anything. And for a few minutes, people were dancing, but now they get tired because they want like different type of genres at the same time. But I believe you should stick to one genre at a time. And then I was still studying, and I remember the bar manager or the person responsible for DJ coming to me like, "Do you have some Afrobeats or Latina music?" I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what to play anymore, and I was still like 20 minutes on, and I had like an hour or two. It was terrible. I didn't know what to play. It was terrible.
Do you think that Chinese underground clubs take good care of their artists in terms of respect and payment?
Depends from the club to club, and nowadays not all the clubs can follow up. And like being a local DJ, you especially regarding the payment, regarding hospitality, everything is good. You always here comparing, for example, to Europe. But Europe actually, I didn't meet this. Only one place there you have like a very limited like drink coupons. For me, it was not that important. It only one place happened. Like I said, no, we only give 3. That's it. In China, there's no like it's everything yours and your friends. Not like that, but yeah, very easy with the like drink tickets, with getting this or that. Yeah, this is very easy here. This I have to say is very good regarding that. Regarding the payment, nowadays it's very hard.
Hard how?
Hard how that the clubs, not all again. There are clubs again, Potent for me is a big example because they are like everything is perfect with the organization, with the payment, everything on time, all the time.
Oh, it's a big club. It's a big name in China.
Yes.
In China, in Shanghai,
yes.
Everybody knows about that club.
It's like good hospitality. Everything is great. A lot of other places. Sometimes you have to remind them about your payment. Not sometimes, most of the times. But again, it's happening this last 2 years.
Post-COVID time, yeah?
Yeah, it's never happened before.
Why is it happening now?
Economy is
Economy.
not great. Clubs are not making money. Then
Because people stopped coming, or what? Because less customers?
People are coming, but people don't spend money. Yeah, this is the problem. So yeah, this is after the COVID. This the situation we're facing. Of course, the DJs understanding, and but there is another reason, because the DJs for whom this has become a hobby, but who booked regularly, also spoiled clubs, because a lot of them will not ask for the payment on time, or will not ask at all, for example. And the clubs are getting used to. If we are not paying this DJ on time, or we should pay this DJ on time, and this is like that. So, and
Who are those DJs who don't care about payment? Are they like newbies in the business, or?
no, some DJs just want to play for fun. They have like a daytime job and they want to play for fun. You know, just enjoy the
They don't
the
care about money.
timing.
If they don't pay, they don't pay, right?
I mean, I'm sorry. The payment in China. I mean, there's not gonna make a big difference in your life. Okay.
That's true.
So
wait a second. Being an underground DJ in China will not be enough to support yourself in China?
if you play only in the clubs, first of all, it's not that many clubs we are talking. Like, okay, in
How many?
In Shanghai.
In all China?
I didn't calculate, but
About
10, 15.
10, 15, really?
At the max.
So
Maybe even less.
each major city, at least several, like one or two?
Shanghai has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then six clubs who are focused on the alternative music styles, right? Then there will be 7 actually. Shanghai has 7 places. If you only play at these places, no. Even if you play regularly, but also club cannot book you more than one time per month, maximum 2. First of all, it's a lot of DJs, like a lot, and a lot of good DJs. Second of all, it's also for them, music-wise, they have to give people a choice. Yeah, so it's just not possible. But you can, but like at certain place I play like regularly, like I know, okay, this month, some places will book me every month, some places once in 2 months. But yeah, I have another, like also DJ bookings, which is not clubs. So, and those will be a better payment than the clubs.
But it's not going to be about being artistic, right?
Yeah, it's nothing about you. I mean, you also play good music, but you will not play for people who dancing. It's like lounges and bars.
Okay, so playing in clubs for mostly fun, you can still make a living from being a DJ in China, can you?
Impossible.
Impossible.
If you are playing only in the clubs, no.
But if you also take those commercial gigs.
Yeah. Well, now this is now is less and less easy. Like I would say, this like less and less possible. It's kind of like for me, if you ask me, for me at the moment, even I play every weekend. Some nights I have 3 gigs in the night, and it's still very hard. But I have a kid. Maybe if you're single, maybe if you're single, it's not going to be big money, but you can live. Even in such expensive city as Shanghai, yeah, you can live. But for me, with the kid, it's very, very hard. Yeah, at the moment.
Clubs and bars are different. Clubs have got potential of always having the crowd, and bars not always. Do you have any examples of frustration when you come to a bar and there are like 2 people drinking and you have to play for 2 people?
Yeah. I've had scenarios where actually sometimes I played for like quite a while for an empty space, yeah, without anyone on that particular night. But
How do you deal with this emotionally?
for me, if it's empty, then I use the time to actually rehearse, and play out my heart in terms of what I want to play, and use it because when I'm at home, I just use 3.5-inch speakers. So when you're here, when you're at a bar and it's empty, you have quite a big system, and now you can work on certain skills like echoing out or playing with a cappella, etc., etc. So for me, I use that time to build more, instead of being emotionally drained. It can be emotionally draining sometimes, if you're anticipating to have a big crowd, and if you have a curated playlist, and you find there's no one. So, but I use that time to build.
I like your optimism.
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
Our friend, she's playing a chord.
Is there a significant difference between clubs treating local DJs like you versus international DJs?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, it's not about the treatment. I would say no one, from the local event organizer or the clubs, treat you bad. But of course, international guest, he's a guest. He has everything. It's like all the time his payment ahead, of course, because nobody will come if the payment hasn't been done before, right? Then, all the hospitality, all the hotels, dinner, this and that. Yeah, but the clubs treating DJs are pretty well here. I wouldn't say there is I had a disaster situation or something. In another cities, when I go, I'm also a guest, and I also I had same treatment as an international guest, I would say. The only thing, because I speak a little bit Chinese, so I can call car for myself, and I can basically navigate inside China. Here, if you go outside of Shanghai, it's nobody will speak English. So for the person who is coming here for the first time by himself, it's pretty hard to move around.
Is it the case that usually if more or less some name from Europe is coming here to tour around China, isn't it correct that usually a promoter follows that DJ everywhere and helps with hotels, food?
Normally, each club will set up a person who is in charge and taking care of the artist.
Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you think that we have missed something, let me know. Appreciation means a lot for artists. I know it because I'm an artist myself.
Yeah, it does.
Have you ever had nights where you felt underappreciated because the people maybe didn't like the music, or maybe they didn't pay attention to the music?
Yeah, I think the first few times when I started DJing, I felt unappreciated because the scene, the nightlife or the bar scene or the nightclub life in China is more about what people are used to. So when they see a new face, they don't pay much attention. Even if you're playing good music, even if you're playing the same music that the next DJ is going to play. But just because you're not the familiar face and maybe your transitions are not the ones they're used to, they'll just mize you there. But as time went by, people started to recognize and started to listen and to give ear,
How do you get booked?
Well, in different ways. Sometimes it's 50-50. 50% coming there, promoters or clubs just contacting me and asking me about my availability and if I can play this or the day. And the 50% is coming that I ask the venues if they have any free date for me. There is never just everything coming from the club. Yeah. In Europe, is same. Actually, in Europe is now I'm in the agency, so agency is doing this job too. But I also do this job too. there is. I don't think anyone who is starting, who is DJing, like ever been like just booked all the time, just because he's like a good DJ or something, or a good artist. I think it's always like you know.
Hey, do you remember me?
Yeah. I mean, like it's always okay when you are starting. When you start DJing, of course, you're asking, you know, can I come play? Can I come like show something? But then it's keep. If you want to keep playing, you have to do this. Sometimes clubs just don't remember about you. Like they are busy with a lot of bookings. They have a lot of artists.
When you play in bars, do you have a feeling that sometimes the bar manager just needs anybody behind the decks, or they treat you like an artist?
I think that's one major reason or one major factor that I consider when I play at a place. Of course, we want the money, but respect for your craft and respect for you as an artist is quite important when you get into the field of being an artist. So I've had the fortunate opportunity of meeting with people that really treat me as an artist and give me the creative liberty, you know, to play what I want. And if they wish me to play something else, they do it respectfully.
How do you deal with people who come to you and say, hey, can you play Lady Gaga?
I think at first I wanted to impress people so that they'll be like, oh, this is a good DJ. But then that makes the transition terrible, because now you're transitioning from hip hop and now you're going to reggaeton and it's terrible. So now I've come up with a way to just say, okay, cool, that's fine, I'll play it.
Do you play?
Sometimes. If it's in the same genre that I'm playing at that time, I can find a way to put it to, but if it's not, nah.
How do you say no? What if a customer is really persistent and drunk and like, hey, come on, play Lady Gaga, please?
No, it depends on where I'm playing also. Is at a bar? And you know, because bar is more social. People wouldn't mind you switching from hip hop to a slow song, or from a slow song to hip hop. So if it's in a bar setup, yeah, sometimes I might, if they're too persistent, just to get them off my back. But there's a flip side to it, because if you do that, they'll come more and more now. So you wouldn't want that. So it's easy to just say, I'll play it. They'll forget eventually.
That's a question to other foreign students in China who study music, or not necessarily music. What would you tell them? How could they start? How could they get into this game being a DJ? Are there any, maybe there is an advice from you, how to make it as legal as possible, how to be careful maybe?
For me, I think the most important thing is it has to be a passion. Being a DJ, first of all, is quite demanding on the financial side. You have to have a lot of gear. For you to be a good DJ, you have to have your own gear, and having your own gear is quite pricey. Before you even think about getting your first gig, you have to practice at home and know your style and your stuff. But for those who would want to go into DJing, I would say if you're studying music or you're not studying music, find out how best you can go to. If your school actually, because there's some schools that, like you mentioned earlier, that allow you to practice your major. For example, if you're a music student outside, and if it's paying, that's fine, as long as they know. I think the only thing here in China is it's just informing the right people of what you're doing.
What advice would you give to DJs who want to make their way in China?
Well, if they are already in China, I will advise them to go to the clubs, try to meet managers and promoters personally, and try to keep in touch with them. And yeah, it's pretty easy. In Shanghai, it's pretty easy.
So people need to know how to sell themselves.
It's very hard just to sell yourself via sending mix these days. It's always about personal communication too. So, you know, the managers see you, or like the promoters see you, he see like your personality as well. Just with the mix, sending a mix and like your biography, I feel it's pretty hard. Yeah, if you are not already under some nice management, like, and you are up, if you are just stepping into the scene, I think this is the only way. I have many examples, like I'm an example. Like before I DJ, before I started to enter this scene in Shanghai, I knew all the club owners in Shanghai because I was going out. I was meeting DJs, then I was asking for the advices. And never be shy to ask for the advice from other DJ or from someone you know who is somehow related to the club or to the promoter. A lot of people are willing to help and share the contacts or introduce you to this person or to this club. It's not that complicated. Yeah. If you are based here, it's easy. Here is pretty easy to get connections and then of course just deliver good music and make, like, when you got a chance to play, you have to do a good job. You have to make people dance.